Hi everybody! After last night's jump scares, I'm playing something that hopefully will be a little less upsetting for me. I will be honest, I have no idea what this game is about. It's called Void Sales. I got it through Keymailer. And at least it won't have ghosts jumping out at me. So that's literally all I know about it, so let's just get into the game and see how it is. This is another one that either sucks or I don't like. We'll go back to starting. Alright, let's go. New game. I like the kind of anime-ish feels. I don't know. I like that. Departure. Greetings. You might not know me yet, but I have urgent news. Your father, Leonardo Salvatore, the renowned explorer and scholar, in case you don't know who your father is, has vanished in his latest expedition. Professional hazard, so to speak. However, this case is in particular interest to me. Seek me in the capital. A ship will be awaiting you at the docks. Until then, the Man in Yellow. That is a stupid nickname. But okay. So we've packed up. You stare at the letter again. Leonardo, your father, in case you forgot, has gone. The letter came unexpectedly, not much time to prepare. Does anybody ever expect someone to disappear? Honestly? Like that, I feel like an expected disappearance would be more expected than an unexpected one. Anyways, you look about your room, reminiscing about your past. University. Sure, a blissful time. You've toiled relentlessly over manuscripts, getting every bit of knowledge possible. Cool. There was one subject that interested you the most. The one which framed your view of the world and shaped your entire personality. Make that choice right now. I'm gonna go with applied science. Mystical visions received, because applied science equals mystical visions, received from behind the veil have become the main driving force in technological advancements. However, venturing too far beyond has proven to be risky. By the time you finish your course, the dorm has become more spacious. Some of your classmates have been moved to special rooms with padded walls and floors. Okay. You double-check your luggage, a few sets of clothes, your savings. There was little time to prepare, but you took one particular item. An old book for knowledge or enchanted gloves for resolve? Well, last time I chose knowledge, so this time I'm taking enchanted gloves, because those don't come along every day. Engraved with a unique pattern and enchanted with solar dust, these gloves will serve you well. No more time to waste. As the dawn breaks and the sky clears, you close the door and head for the docks, searching for the ship. As you make your way, a young man with bright red hair suddenly approaches you. You are carrying enchanted gloves that are new, gold, 120 supplies. Sean O'Brien. Ah, Captain, found you. Morning. My name is Sean O'Brien. I will be your first mate, ready to take command and set sail. He gives you a wide smile, displaying a set of straight teeth. Sean looks pleased to meet you and is eager to set sail. React with surprise or confidence? I'm going to go with surprise because I didn't realize I was captain. I am surprised. I don't get apparently a whole paragraph. I just say, and Sean says, to be honest, I was surprised as well, but the man in yellow was insistent. Strange fella he is. Worry not, seafaring may look intimidating initially, but it doesn't differ that much from sailing the seas. And just look at the ship he's got us. He points at the ship behind him, peacefully rocking at the pier. Its engines humming, ready to take off at a moment's notice. Do we look closer at Sean, or do we look at the ship and have a test of knowledge? I think we inspect the ship. What in the flying flip is this? To perform a test, you need to roll a number. That number is compared to the value of your attribute shown in the middle of the dial. If the number you rolled is equal to or less, you have succeeded. The higher your attributes are, the greater your chance to succeed. Okay, so it's D&D based. Yes, 30 is lower than 60. My knowledge is superior. Yeah. It's a critical success, gosh darn it. I get +4 to knowledge. A lightweight brig with a solar core. The sail's fabric accumulates energy and directs it to a powerful engine. Excess energy is stored and redistributed to light accelerators and an absorption field. You want to go outside first? Hun? You want to join me first, or are you hungry first? Sorry for the yelling. Wolf was about to make dinner, and we usually go have a cigarette before dinner, so I need to do that. So, let's see. In combination with engraved hardwood, which allows for zero buoyancy, it creates an agile ship capable of navigating between the stars. Alright. Adventure begins. Sean diverts his attention to the crew's preparations. As the ship soars high above the clouds, you leave the port behind. Several days later, you arrive at Cloudshire, a lush agricultural region, the first stop on your way before reaching the capital. You must acquire a travel permit from a nearby castle. It will allow you to navigate safely to the new world. Okay. Where is the castle?
All right, Captain. It's time for you to take the helm. I see you've already managed to make the ship move. Perfect start, eh? Just remember, it's a starfaring ship, not some flimsy tiny boat. Let's try something different. See those floating crates around the island? Aim our cannons and show 'em what you got. Aye, good. See, told you it was easy. There's more to commanding the ship. I'll show you when the time comes. Now, let's just keep the course. If you find something of interest you'd like to explore, feel free to do so. Just sail next to a pier and disembark. The boys and I'll stay on the ship conducting repairs.
I'm assuming this is a pier. Okay, we found an abandoned church. Let's see. You stand outside a church, its doors wide open, the church bell rings solemnly in the mild wind. Although the place doesn't look particularly old, although abandoned, it must have been built in the last few decades. Let's enter it. Inside, though, it looks much more damaged. A strange overgrowth covers the walls with thick, dark roots, creating a mosaic pattern. They seem to cover most of the church except a golden mass placed at an otherwise barren altar. The stone around it is slightly charged. The mask empties sockets. Watch you closely as you make your next move. Let's examine the mask. Okay, so the golden mask is a symbol of the Empire. These masks are replicas. They represent the one carried by the masked prophet, carrying his presence in the all-seeing light. Frequently used by inquisitions, these are resistant to the corruption of the veil. As you finish the instruction, a sudden burst of wind slams the door shut. The roots rustle around you. Faint light can be seen coming from the mask's surface. Let's not mess with the holy relics yet. You leave the mask be as you turn around and exit. The soft glow intensifies. The light is warm and comforting. You feel confident and somewhat at ease. Okay.
Time to use some of that sweet solar energy our ship's sails accumulate. Send the engine core to overdrive.
How?
It'll make the ship both faster and more responsive to your commands. Ah, cloud shine. Warm sun, fine fields. Too bad we can't stay here for too long. Which reminds me, we must get a travel permit to continue past this point. There's the castle of St. Isidore in this region. If you ask nicely, I'm sure they can issue us the permit.
First we're going to stop at this little town here. Then we're going to stop at that thing, because I want to see everything. A stolen ring. You dock your ship and head towards the village square. As you continue deeper, you spot the town hall. Even from outside, you can hear the agitated shouts. You push open the heavy door of the town hall. Inside is a massive crowd of people. Looks like the whole village is here. In the middle is a stage where a big burly man can be seen. His face is red with anger and his wheat-colored hair is drenched in sweat. He shouts at an elderly woman, somewhat shielded by a young boy in front of her. Let's see if we can ask around and find something. Probably should have used my gloves, but that's okay. We're going to save those for later. Yep, that didn't work. You ask, but no one seems eager to talk. To a stranger, if anything, they're suspicious of you. You approach the stage to get a better look. You get closer, trying to get a better look, when suddenly a man spots you in the crowd and directs his violent gaze. And who might you be? What do you want? It's act polite, doesn't hurt anything. A captain, you say. From Earth, you say. Don't make me laugh. We haven't had newcomers since the last sowing season. You are with them, aren't you? Involved in this crime somehow. Let's talk to people. These are, but yes, the Honorable Frau Brar and their bastard son of a son, Rudolph. Not me spilling my drink. Their family has always been shady, constantly trying to undercut me and beg for lower grain prices. But thievery of my ring, blessed by the Lord Inquisitor himself, that's a new low. Just wait till I get the proof. There won't be any more brawlers here. You can see several strong men by the entrance door, all with wheat-colored hair and an angry look. Seeing that you have nothing of value right now, Mr. Miller returns to the brawlers. The atmosphere is tense. The men at the door seem impatient. Perhaps if you find the ring, you might resolve the situation. A mountain cave nearby might be a good place to start. I bet that's it. So let's head over here. It refills pretty quickly. Reflective tar increases solar cannon charge cost. Broadside cannons, shielding. Let's go ahead and upgrade our shield. cave here.
Easy, easy there, Captain. Careful around the corners. While inside, our sails will accumulate much less energy. So spend it wisely.
So we've made some money there. Mining caves. You stand inside what seems to be an abandoned mine. The cave walls look unstable, barely supported by old wooden beams, turning over mining cart and leftover equipment rotting. Turned over mining carts and leftover equipment rot. Let's start with inspecting the equipment. Okay. You examine the mining equipment more closely, especially the massive drill in the middle of the cave. It looks like solar dust mining facility, a precious resource used in numerous apparatuses and most importantly to power flying ships. However, this vein has been depleted. Judging by its appearance, it's not been visited in a long time, except you can see a set of footprints leading to the drill. At the base of the central drill, you see a narrow hole. It must have been dug out recently. The ground looks fresh compared to the rest of the cave. Put your hand in. The hole is narrow and not particularly deep. You move your hand around, but whatever it was is there no longer. You stand up and shake the dust off. Trail of footprints leads to one of the cave passages before disappearing. Okay. So let us continue on. So that doesn't really do anything.
Something is off. Boys, get the cannons ready. Remember to use the shields to protect the ship.
Sure.
Good job, lads. Don't forget to check the area. I've seen supply crates floating nearby.
Yeah, we'll worry about that. Fort ruins. At last, the cannons grow silent and the dust settles. You can see the fort clearly. Several towers, walls patched up with thick planks of wood. A small group of rowing boats can be seen escaping through the narrow tunnels behind the fort. Strange vegetation covers multiple sections of the fort. Dark, twisted roots stretch across the walls. You dock your ship and head through the massive doors. The inner courtyard is in complete disarray. Massive plants congregate in dark corners, and multiple empty crates and barrels are scattered around. Most people must have left before your arrival, except the small garrison encountered during the fight. Something must have forced them away. Let's examine the plants, because knowledge is my strongest suit, so that's what we're going to go with. Okay. Critical success. The roots are cold to the touch, hard as stone, and covered with a thin layer of moisture. A soft vibration, almost a whisper, can be felt emanating from their surface. You've heard of these plants. No one truly knows what they are, but whenever they appear, they tend to grow and spread uncontrollably. And when they do, the Inquisition usually follows, isolating entire regions, relocating its population. However, nobody really saw where those people went. As you prepare to leave, something catches your attention. There's a small clearing between the plants. In it lies a golden ring with a delicate carving of the sun. You wonder why it was left behind. Take the ring. Okay.
See those cracked rocks? Aye, we can clear the path using our cannons.
Cracked rocks. Those, okay, yeah. Okay. And onward we continue. Oh look, a way out. Okay. Interesting, very, very interesting.
Who do you think they were? The people in the fort, I mean.
Not a clue.
Plenty of pirates around, but the Empire usually manages to keep them at bay. I hope it was someone exciting, like a secret society plotting a revolt against the Inquisition, eh?
Sure.
I've noticed, I've left over soldiers to perform an evil ritual.
Present the ring. You take the ring out and hand it to Mr. Miller. He snatches it from your fingers and quickly puts it into his pocket. The news of an abandoned fort surprises everyone. A group of people is seen leaving the town hall to investigate. Abandoned fort, you say? Well, that is unusual, to say the least. And how did it get there? Was it this delinquent who hid it? He points at Rudolph. His eyes widen as he awaits your answer. Mr. Miller doesn't seem pleased that you defended him. Well, at least you've got my ring back. You have a journey ahead of you. As a form of gratitude, let me give you something. My men will load some supplies onto your ship. He turns to the Browers. As for you, we'll see. Okay, so we managed to save someone, and... Okay, so let's head towards the castle. But there's another place to stop first, so we'll stop there. See the crates over there, we'll get those after. I mean, the game's a little slow moving, but okay. It's not bad.
Cap, when we get to the castle, they will ask questions. Who
Okay.
are you? Where are you going? By the holy light, did you submit the I-94 form? All that bureaucratic nonsense. Annoying as it is, we'd better not start off on the wrong foot.
I've already got enchanted
Someone tells me the man in
gloves.
yellow won't appreciate it if we stir up unnecessary trouble. By the way, how did you get to know him? I've worked with the man several times, but I doubt he would hire a ship to help me out.
I don't know him. My father does. It's an impressive castle, I guess, as far as castles go. Kind of figured out whenever you're in the floating glitter is when you can start pressing F. Customs office. You approach the castle gates, but there don't seem to be any guards, neither next to the gates nor on top of the walls. Next to the entrance is a small door with customs office sign. As you enter, you're greeted by a small room filled with measures and weighing equipment on several tables and chairs, all empty except one. Behind it is a young woman in an imperial officer robe. Lucia de la Tour. Greetings. Welcome to the castle of Saint Isidore. My name is Lucia de la Tour, and I'm the Lieutenant Castilian. How may I be of service? She gives you a polite smile, awaiting your response. I'm going to ask about the castle. Feels strange, doesn't it? On a typical day, hundreds of people would be manning the post and operating the defense towers, but today is not a typical day. Today is the pilgrimage to the shrine of Saint Isidore, the patron of this castle and the surrounding lands. It's out of concern. She leans forward a bit and continues in a hushed voice. That's what I told the Lord Inquisitor. But he insisted that this time was special, that the ceremony would require more people and preparations. It shouldn't be a problem. As Lieutenant Castilian, I'm sure I can help you with whatever you might require. However, if it's the travel permit you seek, there's an issue. Unfortunately, unauthorized travel within the New World is strictly prohibited, based on the truce of the Empire and the Old Kingdoms. I would need you to provide a letter of sponsorship from any notable citizen or patron of the capital. She takes a glance at your paper and frowns. The man in yellow, huh? That person may not sound like a reputable source. Give me a minute. I will need to consult the ledger. She takes your papers and exits through a room in the back entrance. A couple of minutes pass. You start to wonder how massive this ledger must be and to take so much time when suddenly a loud bell is heard across the castle. Something is happening outside. You rush back to your
Steady,
ship.
lads! Prepare to engage! Remember the drill. Turn. Fire. Repeat. Aim for the sails and the engine pipes. If I see any men cowering, I will throw you overboard myself. Now that was a proper good fight, Captain. Let's head back to the castle. Stellator has some explaining to do.
Okay, so that wasn't so bad. Okay, we're back in the customs office. You head back to the customs office. The alarm bell finally stops, but the castle is still on high alert. You can see small groups of people sprinting around the castle walls. Soon after, Lucia bursts through the door, breathing quite heavily. Looks like she's been running for some time. Apologies, Captain. We could not provide any covering fire, but you managed just fine. Good job dispatching those ships. Where were we? You can see her agitation. The attack. Honestly, I don't really know. They must be some sort of pirates. However, they knew precisely when the castle was most vulnerable and their ships... She pauses for a second, considering if she wants to tell you. Their ships were unusual. Ow. The ships looked much more well-maintained than usual. Not the rust bucket the local scam dares to call a vessel. And their strategy, not a single shot fired upon the castle itself. It's as if they were specifically targeting you. Travel papers? Ah, yes. Of course, I've checked your papers. Usually it wouldn't be enough, but since I can't ignore your help defending the castle... She seems reluctant. Perhaps what she is about to do is directly violating established protocols. Her tone becomes much more ceremonial. Considering your help repelling the attack on St. Isidore Castle, I, Lucia Delator, Lieutenant Castilian, by my authority, commend you for your valiant defense effort against the enemy. On the Empire's behalf, I grant you free passage to the New World. She smiles and hands over your papers. And now, if you excuse me, I have an investigation to conduct. If you wish to leave us, head towards the mountain and turn left. The lighthouse is nearby. Safe travels, Captain. Okay, so head towards the mountain and turn left. There is another port that seems to be calling. But I am going to just kind of take off. I don't know what that green light is, but we're going towards that.
Seems like we've done what we came for. What did Lucia say? Lighthouse to the left of the mountain. We can head straight there, but we won't be returning, so keep that in mind.
All right, let's go check out what's going on at the mountain. And that place. Dang it. Too curious. Since probably all we're going to get through in this episode is exploring this first area, we might as well fully explore the first area. That looks like some sort of space observation place. Telescope? No. Planetarium? Maybe. Okay. Well, all I can do is sell stuff here, so we're not going to do that. I want everything I have. And the mountains was just upgrading stuff. So I think, yeah, we can take off. Ship moves so slow. Even on solar power, it moves so slow, and then you run out of solar power and you have to wait. How I deal with this. Apparently I hit F. Road to the city. You leave Cloudshire with a heavy heart. The ambush at the castle was no coincidence. Someone knew you were coming. Caution must guide your steps now. The road ahead will only grow darker. Now you must travel beyond towards the city where the man in yellow awaits. If there are answers to be found, they may begin with him.
All right, Captain. Let's keep moving.
Let's go this way.
When traveling between the stars, best not stray too far off course. Drifting through the void ain't exactly good for morale. So stick to the waypoints. They'll guide us through. Oh, it'll cost us time and supplies.
Okay.
Every journey will eat into our stockpile. And if that runs dry, the crew's bound to get a bit twitchy. But don't worry. We've got enough to make it to the city. As long as we don't take any scenic detours.
I don't know where the city is. I'm just exploring, my dude. Trying to keep to the middle. I mean, it's a maze. There's a lighthouse. You see a beam of light in the distance that differs from the stars in the sky. You've noticed it several days before, but as you get closer, you can finally see its source. A lighthouse stands on a floating rock. It allows ships to safely navigate in the vastness of space. As you set foot ashore, she sees a strange woman and awaits your approach. Welcome, Captain. You've arrived just on time. I hope your journey so far has not been troublesome for you. On time? Yes, among other things. Almost too predictable. But that's a good thing. It means everything is going as planned. I was told all about you. By the gentle shimmering of the stars, by the soft breeze of the void, your every move carries you along a path. Every action creates ripples on the surface of the water. What would you like me to tell you? The past? It won't help you much. It may confuse you. The future? Know that once I do, there won't be much you can do to change it. She closes her eyes for a moment. Let's see, perhaps this will work. She opens them again. The light of her lamp goes dim for a moment, intensifying the brightness of her eyes. A cry will echo, rising from the depths. One will hear it, too curious to turn away, too arrogant to flee. The unnatural glimmer of her eyes softens as the lamp shines bright. Now the future is set. All that's left is for you to find it. The exact definition would be inconsequential and thus meaningless. You can call me the lighthouse keeper. Feel free to stay at my home and rest a bit. Prolonged seafaring subjects your mind to, let's say, stress. We shall meet again soon. Before you can ask anything else, she is gone. You stand alone at the pier, the lighthouse illuminating the space around. Okie dokie, Smokey. Let's continue along our way. Oh, that's interesting. Ship's graveyard. You pass by a group of ships. They drift along in the empty void, all damaged, broken, and tangled together. In the clutter, you see a massive ship of the line. A gaping hole in its hull exposes the bowels. Oh, we are totally exploring this. The ship is enormous, a behemoth of a combat vessel, compensating in size for what it lacks in technology. Judging by the outdated design and the banners you see inside, it must have belonged to one of the old kingdoms, a fractured group of royal families opposing the mass prophet. You search through the ship. Not much is left. It must have been looted multiple times. What worries you is a strange sound coming from deep within the ship. It sounds like wailing. You have no choice. Something prevents you from leaving, so we might as well go deeper. You go deeper into the ship, submerging yourself in its endless corridors, a tangled mess of semi-destroyed passages. With each step, the sound grows louder. Finally, you reach the door to the engine room. Behind it must be the solar core, the heart of the ship. You open it and step inside. Inside, a horrifying scene is unveiled. The solar core, which should have been dead a long time, is active and radiates with energy. On its surface, you see the twisted faces of the crew, fused into the core, thrashing around, screaming in agony. You want to get out immediately. We're going to use the enchanted gloves, and we'll see how this goes. And I failed. You try to get closer, but the sight is too much for you to handle. You rush back with no time to close the door behind you. Running through the endless corridors, you lose the path, find it again, stumble over various clutter, fall, and stand up again. It will take a long time to forget what you've seen. The agonizing faces and the constant willing will haunt your dreams for a long time. All right. So we continue on. We're gonna head to this anyways. We might as well head straight for it. Ambush! Why am I not surprised? Your ship passes between asteroids, and you notice a couple of sloops and a massive gunship approaching. They fly under the colors of the Inquisition and signal you to stop your vessel. No thanks. Warning shots are fired from the gunship, landing uncomfortably close. Further resistance will likely lead to battle. Alright. Yes. You slow down and wait for the ships to approach. A large man can be seen on the gunship's deck. You there! Captain Riggs speaking. Surrender immediately. This is a restricted sector. There's something off with his ship. Let's try. It's not the ship, it's the crew. The ragged appearance doesn't fit the gunship. No uniforms, no Inquisition's insignias, just weary, battered men. Something doesn't add up. Captain Riggs looks impatient. The gunship is slowly approaching your position. You pull out your travel permit and wave it high above your head for everyone to see. Ha! Nice try. Do you know how many forgeries I've seen? Hell, I've used one myself. Last chance, Captain. Shut down your engines and prepare to be boarded. No, we're gonna fight it. Now that's more to my liking. Was not expecting you to let me board anyways. See, boys, told you we'd have some fun. So, Cap, back to you. Any last words before I blow you up straight to Corona Borealis? Who ordered this? Some very important people. They even gave me this fine ship to get the job done right. His grin widens. You must be a big fish, Captain. But big or small, I got 'em all the same. He raises his cleaver and points towards you. Boys, open fire. And this battle is where we're going to stop. Bit of a cliffhanger. Will we survive it? Will we not? Thank you. Let's do a quick recap of the game because we're about at an hour.
It seems like you're liking it since you've been playing it for an hour.
I like the concept of it, but here's the thing. In that hour, I've basically done the prologue. I've just got to the first fight in the thing. First real fight. The ship moves too slow. The ship moves way too slow, and it drags it out. And it drags it out in ways that are not fun. So I don't like that aspect. I do like the game. It's kind of an interesting combination of modern open world with old time choose your path games, and it's got a little D&D thrown in there as well. So overall, I like the concept, but that slow moving ship
You
is
might end up getting upgrades to move faster.
you might, but at the beginning of the game, it is so slow that it's a deterrent. It's frustrating enough that honestly, I don't want to keep going to get faster. I probably will play it a little bit more, but it was set up to be like an 8 out of 10 game, a 4 out of 5 game. But that slow moving ship would, for me, it drops it to a 2 out of 5 or a 4 out of 10 because it makes it so tedious to just get around the first few locations. So it is available on Steam. I've linked it below. If you want to check it out, go for it. To the game creators, you've made navigation too difficult. I understand wanting it to be something you can build on and grow on, but for the first like world you're exploring, either make the ports closer together or make the ship move faster. Because this ain't it. The rest of it seems fine. So 4 out of 10, not bad. Not great, not bad. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow.